I've been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog.
What up? It's your homeboy B Watt, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Cancel B Watt. And in this episode, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie is a big time Hollywood actor. He's had a few good roles, but most notably, you will recognize him from playing the Marvel Comics superhero Captain America. Interestingly enough, he was the first African American Captain America. Now, over the years, he's made some very interesting and somewhat controversial comments. And this is another one of them. Captain Afro America appeared on the Pivot podcast and made headlines trying to explain to the black community that success is not earned, it is given. Okay? He says we are lying to our children when we tell them to work hard and they'll eventually attain success. So we seem to have another case of a Hollywood entertainer going woke and trying to explain his revelations to the normal everyday person. And of course, a lot of people on the internet were offended. And I was caught off guard when I first heard it, but I had to take a moment to think about it. And I think there's some truth to the statements that he's making here. So let's check it out.
I've been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart, like I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster, but somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off. You know what I mean? And because of that, I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is the scary thing. Because I went to all the programs. I've done Broadway, I've done off-Broadway. I've been in the business 24 years. I've been in 2 Academy Award films. I've done independent films. I've done major motion pictures. Now I'm Captain America.
All right, let's get into it. Victim mentality is when a person perceives themselves to be powerless. It's when a person blames their problems or their circumstances on external factors, thereby avoiding taking any personal accountability or responsibility for the matter. I don't believe that we're telling kids to sit around and wait for success to fall in your lap. Okay, Anthony Mackie is a Hollywood actor. All right, he's like 1 or 2% of the entire population. Anthony Mackie, we cannot relate to what you're talking about, bro. We out here in the Matrix trying to really get it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make this work. He's not saying that success is when preparation meets opportunity. No, no, no. He's saying that you can prepare all you want. You can be as prepared as you can be. And that still does not guarantee that you will even get the opportunity in the first place. According to this logic, unless somebody comes and gives you an opportunity or gives you success, there's a possibility that you may never achieve your desired outcome. According to this logic, you can do the programs, you can even do the self development. But unless someone comes along and taps you on your shoulder and gives you an opportunity, your efforts may be all for naught. You can go to AAU and play basketball. You can go to acting school. You can go to college. You can take pre-law or pre-medicine. But unless this medical school or law school admissions program accepts you, unless they see value in you and choose you out of a large group of applicants, your efforts may be all in vain. And for some people, this is a cold, hard truth. I mean, let's be honest. How many people do you know with master's degrees, PhDs, but they don't have a job in their chosen field? How many people do you know who can rap or sing their ass off, but don't have record deals? How many people do you know who work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, 2 jobs, but still struggle to make ends meet? Unfortunately, it's just a harsh reality of the matrix that we live in. I think the truth of the matter is that you need preparation, but you also need opportunities. And opportunities are not guaranteed. And we live in a culture that just be taking opportunities for granted. I just do not understand that. In order to be successful, not only are you going to have to work extremely hard, but you're gonna need a few lucky breaks also. So that means at some point along the journey, somebody's gonna have to come along and bless your game. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want certain opportunities, like you want to go to a certain school, like you want a certain job, you want to be in certain professions that come with some social standing. Because anything that comes with some social standing is gonna come with a level of competition. And that means that those opportunities are not guaranteed. That's why they're coveted. See, everybody knows that it's not only what you know, but it's also who you know, right? If you were going down to McDonald's to fill out a job application, and I'm sure McDonald's gets a few applications every week. So the hiring manager has to collect these applications and sit down with them to review them. And he goes through everyone's work history, their education, right? Their qualifications, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, he's going to choose and hire who he wants to, whoever he wants to work with. And that may or may not be the best person or the most qualified person for the position. It could be his homeboy. It could be his friend. It could be a baddie. It doesn't matter, right? Nothing in life is guaranteed. Money is not guaranteed. Success is not guaranteed, despite what the culture would have you believe, right? And this is why we take these things for granted. And I think as a community, it's time for us to reevaluate our value system. All right. So we can make sure that we're giving children the correct information and knowledge so that they can have the best opportunity to maybe quite possibly achieve their dreams. Because nothing in life is guaranteed. Also, I want to think about these comments from the perspective of somebody like LeBron James, right? LeBron James has all this power and leverage and influence in the NBA. And he got his son an opportunity to fulfill his dream of becoming an NBA player. What's wrong with that? I'm confused. LeBron James got pulled with the hiring manager in the NBA. If your son wanted to play NBA basketball and you could make a few calls, send a few texts, and get him hired on a $6 million contract, what's wrong with that? Right? And then I counter suppose that to somebody like Deion Sanders, right? And Shador. Deion Sanders is doing the same thing for Shador that LeBron is doing for Bronny. But I think the difference is that I mean, we've seen Shador play, right? And there's like this concept that Shador has earned his spot. And I kind of agree with that. We've seen Shador in the bowl game. We've seen him show up on the college level. We've seen him show up at J State. So I guess there is some difference there because Shador kind of earned his spot in the NBA. And we look forward to seeing him get drafted by whoever drafts him. But there's so much controversy surrounding Bronny James. And listen, Bronny James is going to eventually earn his spot in the NBA. But at the end of the day, the NBA can draft, hire whoever they want to. And LeBron James got pulled with the hiring manager. What would you do? I'm just confused. And I get it, right? There are players who are taller, faster, maybe even better than Bronny. But at the end of the day, those dudes do not know the right people. Bronny got an uncle named Rich Paul, all right? See, Lethal Shooter, that guy who be hitting all kind of crazy shots on Instagram and stuff like that. He got a Steph Curry shot. He's not in the NBA. Mac McClung won the dunk contest. All right, jumping out the gym, jumping over cars. He's in the G League. Nobody don't ever say nothing about Shedeur, though. And Deion, like I said, is doing the same thing for Shedeur that LeBron is doing for Bronny. You know, at the end of the day, I do understand the sentiment of what he's expressing. I also perceive Anthony Mackie has a little bit of survivor's remorse, maybe a little guilt in his soul because he was the one who was chosen by the elites to be Captain Afro-America. I'm sure only a small percentage of the population will ever get to be Marvel Comics superheroes, just like a small percentage of the population will ever get to be NBA or NFL stars or doctors or lawyers or astrophysicists or astronauts, right? But we live in the Matrix, and LeBron James can press a button, and Bronny James is the next NBA superstar. We live in the Matrix where you can upload a few videos, the algorithm picks you up, and next thing you know, you Kai Cenat. You Drewski. You Kevin Hart, you know what I mean? You press a button, and a record that you recorded in the basement with your friends becomes Tweaker, Jello. You know what I mean? NBA Countdown on every radio station in America, right? So I'm interested to know what you all think, all right? Do you agree with Anthony Mackie or do you disagree? Are we lying to our children by telling them that hard work and dedication will eventually lead to their success? Are we not being honest by saying it's not only what you know, but it's also who you know? You're going to need some luck. You're going to need somebody to give you a shot, take a chance on you. Y'all taking a chance on me right now, and I appreciate you. And finally, can you think of anything in life that's worth achieving or accomplishing that doesn't require someone give you a start, give you a break, take a chance on you? I'm not sure. But if we can't think of nothing, then maybe Anthony Mackie has some validity to his comments. But I'm more interested to know what you all think. So tap in with me. I'll respond. All right. And if you enjoyed this video, visit www.cancelby.com. Sign up with me there for more exclusive content. And as always, listen, like, subscribe, and tune in again to another episode of Cancel Be Wide.